WWE Vault. I don't know if you checked any of that stuff out that's on there. It's awesome. It's just so many, yeah. There's so many behind the scenes shit like Survivor Series and just good timeline. So the other night I was super bored and I was like, oh, it's Rumble season. What? So I watched. They did like it's like an hour and a half long. It's the entire story of Sid versus Shawn Michaels leading into Rumble '97 in San Antonio. So today, real quick, let's talk about that match and the build up for Shawn versus Sid. And I tell you, man, when I watched this back, it's been a long time. It's fucking good. It wasn't bad. I was kind of cringing going into like, man, it's like 96. It's going to be no, it's late 96 when shit was hot. It's getting hot again. Yeah. And, rest in peace. We just lost him last year. I still say what underrated goddamn fucking promo Sid was when he cared and he wasn't thinking about softball. Great. And even though you could tell Shawn was super somaed up and all this shit, still great. Still fantastic on the mic and in the ring. So I watched the match too. As soon as I watched the timeline, it was okay. It's a Sid match, but if anyone's going to give him a good match, it would be Shawn Brett. And of course, Shawn, the drama with Jose Lothario. Do you remember on Raw, Sid attacking Jose's son and trying to put him? Yeah. Dude, what did you think of all this? Have you watched it back since then?
Well, I remember the Rumble itself being kind of catered to like Shawn having to fill that place up because it was in the Alamo Dome. And they're talking about Shawn coming home to regain his title that he had lost from Sid at Survivor Series. So, like, I remember the Jose Lothario story, where he got hit with the camera, and that was kind of a hokey finish to me. Like, that's why he lost.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you on the fact that Sid was a kind of an underrated hand. I mean, if you had to like build a prototype wrestler back then, Sid definitely had the look, and he had the character for being a heel. You know what I mean? It was kind of one-dimensional. You could never really see Sid doing anything different than, well, I'm just going to be this fucking crazy heel. But, yeah, I mean, on the mic, he was pretty good. He looked the part. In the ring, he wasn't terrible as long as he had a good hand to work with. He was never going to be a guy that led the dance. He was going to be a guy that was kind of along for the ride there in the ring, I think, with whoever he was working with. But, I mean, a lot of people forget this guy main evented a WrestleMania, so it's nothing to scoff at. And I do remember this match. It was a pretty good match. Yeah, I mean, there were some false finishes there. It wasn't bad.
Is it fair to say that Sid, in this timeline I watched, Sid wasn't getting booed a lot? And it didn't help that people were burnt out on babyface Shawn and, the guys booed him, but the kids and girls loved him. Is he the first real tweener before Stone Cold, I would say, is right here, is Sid.
Well, I think
as champion.
This was one of the starts of that era, of the Attitude Era, where people were getting tired of the babyface in general. Like the old school white meat babyface. Everyone was getting sick of that shit. The kids were getting older, as you say. We were getting older, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't want that hokey Hulk Hogan bullshit, rah. We liked the ass kiss. We liked the ass kickers. You know what I mean? We liked the tough guys, and that's
we're so grown up now. We're ready for serious stuff like meat and PMS and fucking vampires and fucking.